Welcome to my another Adobe Premiere Pro lesson. Today we are going to look at making end credits using Adobe Premiere Pro 2021. There are several methods to develop end credits in Adobe Premiere Pro. I will go into more detail making end credits using Essential Graphics, but I will touch briefly about another two methods, one through Title Designer. Second method, making a PNG file in Photoshop, then we will import it into Premiere Pro. By giving positional parameters, we can give a roll effect from rolling from bottom to up. Without any further ado, let's get in. So in Essential Graphics, create a new sequence. In this, go up to Essential Graphics. If you don't find Essential Graphics, go over to Window and you'll find Essential Graphics here. Browse, Edit, go to New Layer and click Text Layer. Text layer, you can start to type the content. Before that, you can align the text layer a bit, and maybe you can central the text. You can start to type the content. A film by like SITHEEQUE and starring. To give the roll effect, you have to select the text layer and go up to select here the layer. Then when you click the program monitor, you can see a roll effect in Essential Graphics. When you give the roll effect, automatically scroll bar appears and you find it's start to roll. When you play this layer, you can see it's start to roll. I have made an example for you in sequence 3. So this is the complete contents. You can see that I just delete the new text layer. This is the full content for my title credits. It's rolling, but it's too much faster. To slow down, what you have to do is just extend the length a bit. When you extend the length, it's already slowed down, as you can see. If you want to increase speed, you can reduce the length. If you increase the length, it will be slower. Also, what you can do is, so in the timeline, to zoom in, zoom out this layer, you can use the shortcut plus. It will be zoom in, minus it will be zoom out. Also, there is alternative shortcut to zoom in. You can use the Alt key and mouse scrolling up, it will be zoom in. Also, Alt scrolling down, zoom out. There is another shortcut to zoom in and zoom out. You can select, you can press the Z key, and when you press, it will be zoom in, and with Alt it will be zoom out. So you have learned 3 shortcuts to zoom in and zoom out. I prefer the first shortcut, plus and minus. This is just convenient for you. It's important to note that you must learn the shortcuts in order to save your time. Also, it will increase your workflow efficiency. It is time to fine-tune our end credits. Like our end credits, as you can see that you can do a lot of fine-tuning in your end credits by selecting individually. For example, you can select a film by the titles only, and you can change the font, or you can give the different color. Also, you can give different effect, the size. Already you can change all the things up here. Also, what you can do now, when you add more layers in this area, all these layers will be affected by rolling effect. For example, you can add more vertical text, or else you can add more text layer. Also, you can add the rectangle, ellipse. Also, you can add image file. For example, I'm going to add the rectangle here. So you can see the rectangle. So I'm going to make it to this a film by as a background, for example, and I'm going to bring it down here. It will act as a background. For example, this is a rectangle layer. When you play, you can see this is also getting a rolling effect. Also, you can change the color for this rectangle by selecting this, and you can select whatever color. For example, I'm going to give green. So same layer, you can copy paste to all the titles here. For example, shape 1. Shape 1, Control C, Control V. I just copy paste, shortcut. Next one is I'm going to give it to starring. Then we'll make it to, I will bring it down here. Now the same rectangle you can give it to also music by. Also note that you can add another layers within the layer, the end credits. For example, ellipse. You can add the ellipse the same way as rectangle. So you can add somewhere. For example, I want to add an ellipse maybe in between. So the starting point, maybe you can change the color. Maybe this is color. This is how you can add whatever layers, number of layers. All these will have rolling effect from. So you can see that it's rolling up from bottom to up. It's rolling from bottom to up a nice way. Also note that you can add the image file to this end credit. For example, I'm going to add this PNG file to my end credits. So it's quite big. I'm going to reduce the scale to fit my end credit. For example, somewhere here. So this is in the starting point. Now you can see that also same. I'm going to copy paste this PNG file and paste it to right side. When you play back, you can see that all these layers added to this having a rolling effect. This is how you can develop your end credits in Essential Graphics. Also, you can fine-tune more the text layers up here. You can do a lot of if you want to now, for example, the text layer. If you see SITHEEQUE, you can select any text layer. You can up to change your font size, also style, and you can change the color. If you want to, you can change the color. So this is how we are going to develop end credits in Essential Graphics. Also, in this Essential Graphics, note that there are some options here: pre-roll, post-roll, and ease in, ease out. For example, you can set up some seconds to pre-roll, and it will start the end credits. Also post-roll, and you can make maybe 3 or 5 seconds to ease in and ease out. For example, I will show you that now. Consider this 16 seconds end credits. So what I'm gonna do is now start to roll immediately. Now let's see that I'm going to give a pre-roll for 5 seconds. So I'm going to change it to 5 seconds. So if you note that now when I play back, after 5 seconds only it start to roll. So same way the post roll. Also you can give ease in, for example 3 seconds, it will ease in, then it start to roll the normal speed. Let's move to another 2 methods. As I mentioned to you, I'm going to brief these methods also, making end credits. The first method through Title Designer. Let's start File, New. I'm going to make it a new sequence, and File, New, Legacy Title. I'm going to give a name End Credits. As you can see, this is the interface for Title Designer. You can go to this option, roll or crawl option, and you can select the roll, and you can check the start of screen and end of screen. Press OK. Now select the text, and you can start to type your end credit, film by and SITHEEQUE, starring like. And I'm not going to go much detail this Title Designer. This is a quite old method. It is replaced by Essential Graphics, I believe. So I will just go through briefly. You add the end credits text, and you can fine tune here. You can change the text size, and you can change the font, and you can reduce the font size, and you can do so many fine tuning in the right side. Small caps, it's one of the best method. It gives a nice look to the font. Also you can start to type, then press OK. As you can see in the project window, you can see the end credit. You can add to the timeline, and you can zoom in through plus, then play. So you can see the same end credits here through Title Designer. You can increase you can slow down, you extend by extending the length, and you can increase the speed by reducing the length. Also, if you want to do more editing or change, you can double click. You can go to this Title Designer, and you can do the more settings. Let's check another third method, making PNG file in Photoshop and import it into Premiere Pro. So I just close this screen and go to Photoshop. I already make one PNG file up here. As you can see, I already typed, and this size is 1920 into 3000. 1920, it's the common width in HD. So the height is far, you can increase height maybe 3000 or 4000 or 5000. So there is two layers here, text layer and background, because we are gonna export only the text file here. So with this file, what you can do, even you can add the image file, all the things, and we will export as a PNG file. For example, I have opened up the PNG file here. You can add to your End Credits PNG file, for example. I'm gonna copy paste this layer. For example, by pressing Alt, I'm gonna copy paste like this. Maybe I'm gonna copy paste again one more layer, and rotation with the Shift key. Then you can see more file, then one more copy paste, and you can add here. So this is the PNG file. Now I'm going to export as PNG to run in Premiere Pro. So to do that, you can see these 5 layers. This is background. So I want to group these all layers together by pressing shortcut Ctrl G. If you are using Mac, it's Command G. So it will group the file all together. Then background separate. So right click this. You can export as PNG file. But note that you can see that the width is 1674, not 1920, and also the height 1900. Actual height is 3000. So it has taken to overcome this problem. What you can do, you can add a layer mask to this group. Now when you export this file, now you can see it's complete width and height you receive. So now export. I'm going to make it End Credit name and save the file here. In Premiere Pro, I will create a new sequence. Okay, the new sequence, double click, text up, I will add this PNG file. So I add the PNG file and add to timeline. It's not rolling now. So what we have to do is we are going to give a position. We are going to make a keyframe for position. So I bring the playhead to the starting point. Now start keyframe. Now you make it to bottom like this. Then I just zoom in a little bit. So you can bring the playhead to the end, and you can start to roll up to the last like this. Now you can start to, when you play back, you can see that it's start to rolling the end credits. So the same way you can extend the length to reduce the speed. So still more speed, so extend more. So as you can see, this is the quite old method, but out of these three methods, essential graphics is the best method to follow. But anyhow, I showed you another two methods also. But also I forgot to mention that let me create a new sequence in essential graphics. New sequence also you can do through essential graphics. You can import the PNG file directly here. For example, I just make a new layer from file. You can import the file here directly in essential graphics. By selecting this, you can give the roll effect, so it start to roll, same like the third method. By extend, you can extend a little bit. You can see this is it's quite slow, so just to reduce the length a bit. These are the methods. That's all, guys, for today. In summary, we learned three methods: making end credits, or scrolling credits, or rolling credits, or title credits in Adobe Premiere Pro. The best method and the latest method is doing through essential graphics. It has all the features: adding picture, image file, or rectangle, ellipse, and more fine-tuning. Also, we learned that making end credits through Title Designer. It's quite old method, but I believe that it's replaced by essential graphics. The third method, we learned making a Photoshop PNG file in Photoshop and import it into Premiere Pro, and we gave positional parameters to rolling from bottom to up.